I have ADHD and OCD. I'll talk about my ADHD first. I've always suffered from ADHD since as early as I can remember. I always had trouble focusing in school, constantly. My mind would start to wander. I couldn't focus to save my life. I would also forget almost everything that was taught that day. I thought I was going to fall behind and never learn. I thought I was going to be dumb for the rest of my life, while everybody else got smarter and, matured. But that changed for the better once I got an IEP teacher. I remember one day going to school and meeting someone I had never seen before. He introduced himself as an IEP teacher. At first, I didn't know what that was at the time, but he told me he would work with me while I was in class to help make sure I was focused and I did my work. At first, I hated it. Students were calling me slow, dumb, idiot, the R slur, just because a grown adult sat next to me to help me. Truthfully, I felt that way as well. I felt dumb and stupid. Why do I need someone to essentially babysit me and make sure I did my work and focused? I didn't like it, but I couldn't do it without him. I slowly realized that I needed his help. I was extremely embarrassed at the fact that I did need his help. I wouldn't tell a soul about my IEP teacher, not even my closest friends at the time. The only other person that knew was my mother. Come to find out, she knew because she set it up with the school. They told her that I was failing and they had one way to maybe help me not fail anymore. And so they assigned me an IEP teacher. For a while I hated her for it, and I would get angry anytime I saw her or had to talk to her. I'd also get angry every time I had to talk to my IEP teacher or see them. But at the end of the day, I needed him to help me. And he did just that. I started to pass my classes. I was more engaged in class. I felt better about myself. I felt smarter. I felt normal. I had an IEP teacher with me until junior year of high school. If you have an IEP teacher, just tell them thank you. If it wasn't for mine, I don't know where I would be. Now let's talk about my memory. I have awful memory. Now, it could stem from ADHD, and a lot of my therapists think so, but there have been a handful of therapists that thought it was trauma related, but I think it might be ADHD related. It affects my daily life constantly. It also affects my relationships. For example, me and my ex would argue a lot because of my memory. I would forget something important in their life, and it hurt them, obviously. I never intended to. I didn't ignore them or just not care what they had to say. I just forget things easily. I'm sorry that I do. I don't like it just as much as you. And I wish this was something that was an easy fix. Sadly, it's not. Living with terrible memory is a curse. I forget simple things like how to spell a simple word like beautiful. I've forgotten my own siblings' birthdays, and one of which is super close to mine. I forgot the day my sibling passed away. I forget a lot of things. Because of my memory, I've had people second guess me when I speak. I hate it. I'll tell them something I remember and they will follow up with, "Are you sure?" A simple question like that causes me to second guess myself my entire life. I feel like I'm going insane, honestly. I start to question if I'm remembering an event correctly, or if someone really did say something to me. It makes me feel not human. I just want to feel normal. My memory's gotten me in a lot of trouble as well. Like I've stated, at school I would forget everything we learned, and when a test arrived, I would tank it. Even at work, I would forget some simple things. Thankfully, I've never been fired because of my memory, but it's definitely affected how my boss and my coworkers have treated me. I am worried that eventually my memory will catch up to me and I will get fired, but hopefully not soon. My memory makes me feel like I'm held back on life. I will eventually forget the good times I had in life. The memories with my sibling and my grandmother who are no longer with me. The memories of my past relationship. My relationship with my friends. I just want to be normal. I hope to soon fix this memory issue and be normal. I want nothing more than just to be normal. Now, my OCD. My OCD is not as severe as it used to be. I used to check the front door constantly. I can't stress it enough how many times I would go make sure the front door was actually locked. I would wake up in the middle of the night and check, and I want to be able to go to sleep. I would also have to make sure I shut my bedroom door a certain way, or I would never feel safe, and I'd feel very uncomfortable in my own body. But one habit that I still have that has kind of helped me end other habits is what I like to call my special saying. It goes like this. On God, if I do this again, I will die and go straight to hell, no matter what happens, no matter what happens. Now, I find it funny that I say this, because I'm not that big of a believer in God. But I would say this whenever I wanted to, a bad thought to stop, or an action of mine to stop. Example being, making sure the door is locked. If I said my special saying, I would no longer have to check the door. I firmly believed that something negative would happen if I checked the door again after saying that saying. With my OCD, I never hated it. I guess because it makes me feel safe. Unlike my ADHD, that always makes me feel scared and worried. I guess I wanted to talk about these things in case someone else is going through what I'm going through. Or, I guess I wanted to talk about these things in case someone else is going through what I went through. You're not alone, and you never will be. There are people just like me out there, and I know it. Which is why I no longer consider myself a weirdo. Though I do consider myself not normal, but that's my own issue. But I don't think I'm a weirdo or crazy. I'm sorry if the topics of this video are all over the place. I write this stuff down and read it off majority of the time. I mainly do this because of my ADHD. If I had just freeballed it, I would get distracted and I wouldn't be able to stay on topic. I'd lose my train of thought and it would just make the video worse. I hope you don't think me writing this stuff down makes it less authentic. I promise it's as authentic as can be. I only write these things down so I stay on task when I'm talking about my videos. If it wasn't for my ADHD, I wouldn't write all this stuff down. I want to have to read it off of a script. But I can't play Minecraft and talk at the same time. So, it is what it is. I like to think me writing it down is better than me, just reading off my mind anyways. It makes me feel more passionate about what I talk about. And that's something I enjoy. I want to end the video off by saying this. I just want to say, if you have ADHD or OCD, you are not normal. You're different. Different is cool. Don't let someone tell you otherwise. You're amazing, cool, loved. You are awesome. Never let someone or something make you feel negative about yourself just because you have ADHD or OCD. Keep being cool and different. Normal is not cool. Don't be normal. Be different. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.